Hey class, welcome to part 6, Gather Resources. Now this is where you're going to find your 3 research articles that you're going to use for weeks 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Remember, this essay does not have to be picture perfect. You're just finding information based off a topic. I wouldn't be worried if you found an article that you felt was better than the other in the future and want to switch it. But you have to be careful with that, not to overthink on what you want to discuss. And like I've been saying, find what's out there for you to actually use instead of thinking up of ideas you want to use for and then not find them. Okay, and I've been making that statement quite a lot in all these tutorials. But here's the information you'll type in these empty boxes over here. You'll do 3 articles. As you see, you'll see Article 1, Article 2, and Article 3. Now, here's the information you'll put in here. Like, here's your keywords, your Boolean term keywords that you use to find this article. Here's the link, which is permalink, which takes you to the article when you want to use it and look at it. Here is the title of it, the abstract, and here's the APA reference. Okay, so I'll show you a little bit, more of what you just went through in earlier parts here. So you'll go back to the library, okay, and you'll do find journals. And I already have something typed in here from before, just to show as an example. I'm going to use violent video games in children as just for the example. Now, one of the key things you want to do, and you probably saw, maybe you haven't seen it yet or I haven't posted it yet, but there's a question I ask about why do you have to use research from the last 5 to 10 years? And that's because anything past that's usually outdated. So video games, influence of video games 30 years ago is probably not the same as now. Grand Theft Auto wasn't in the 1980s, so obviously you're not going to find any information. It's not going to be equal amount of information that's you're gonna find from 30 years ago. Like when you look at this article here, it's 2019, so this is a good article to use. But I want to point out that there's no PDF full text on this one. So when you see full text and request, you have to request this article. And the reason why I'm pointing that out is because if you have to request the article, you may not get it in time. Or you can find one that has the information of full text. The other thing too, if you want to make sure you have the right years, you come here and you can switch the year from the publication date earliest of 2015, press enter, to 2020, and now this whole system will show up with articles, and look, 148 articles of violent games and children. Now, again, not all of these are going to be usable. Sometimes you'll find something that's like a book review, which you cannot use. So disregard that. Make sure you find research articles. In DQ1, remember I'll have a video in there that shows you what a research article looks like. All right. So some of these other ones, like these academic journals, you might get access to, but this one you would. See how it has a full text? That means I can actually open the article right away. Okay. So let me go ahead and pull up an article here just as an example. So the very first one is in 2019, and it's impact of playing violent video games among school-going children. So when I want to look at it, I can click on it, and as you scroll down, you'll see, and let me go ahead and get this a little bit more clear. Sorry, I had to move this over. You see, here's some key information you'll want to use. Now, the reason why you want to use full text is because when you click on it, on this part, it'll actually load the article. Okay, the other ones that don't have that will not necessarily load the article. And as you see, you have abstract, keywords, results, all this information here. You'll have like materials method, you'll have a discussion of what the article's about and limitations of the study, all this kind of information here that's going to be very helpful in reading the article through. Okay, you can go back to where you were before by clicking on Detail Record. And then other information that you want is the abstract. So here's the abstract. This is what you would copy and paste into, let's see here, into the area where it says abstract. So here's abstract. You'd go into the box next to it and you would paste that in there. Okay, so that's what you're doing with the abstract. That's where you find the abstract. Okay. For the article, the title, it's right here. You may not want to copy and paste that from here because it could really, let's see, sometimes it'll be too big, as you can see. But you can also highlight and change the font if it lets you highlight it somewhat. There we go. Make it a little bit more readable font than that. Or you could just, probably easier to type it sometimes. But see, now I got the title of the resource. Now here's the keyword search that I used, which was violent video games and children. So that's what I used to do that. Now the permalink and the APA reference is pretty simple too. As you come over here to the right side, you'll have cite and you'll have permalink. Okay, you want to get the permalink from here. Okay, if you click on the article and you get the article and you copy and paste the link from here, it's not going to take you back to the article. So you have to make sure to get it from here. Okay, you click on permalink and you see this box that pops up. You click in there once, you copy that, and now you just come here, paste it. I would press enter, and then you save your worksheet because now it's hyperlinked. All right. APA reference, pretty simple. You come back here, you click cite. Now you'll see a bunch of reference types here. You're not going to use all of them. Okay, you're going to find APA. You highlight the APA reference. You come in here and boom. All right. So that's the proper APA. And this is where you'll get your citation too later on when I teach you about citations. But notice how simple that was in finding the information. The key point is finding articles that fit your topic. Okay, so again, I'm not going to find articles based off of information that I want to talk about. I'm going to read through some of these. I'm going to say, hey, this is a very good point here, and this is what I want to discuss. That's a lot easier than forcing three things you want to talk about. Okay? If you have any questions, please reply.